Chapter 1. Hans of Holland. Get set go. Relate. An act of bravery always gets appreciation and recognition. The President of India every year awards children for unique acts of bravery. Do you know on what occasion these awards are conferred? Reflect.
The Netherlands is a country in Europe.
Do you know the other name of it? Recreate.
The Netherlands is famous for its dikes and windmills. The tulip is the national flower of it. Do you know the names of the neighboring countries of the Netherlands?
Let's read and appreciate.
The Netherlands is known as the land of tulips and windmills.
It is also famous for its long walls built along the sea coast. These walls are known as dikes. Since most of the Netherlands is lower than the sea level, people built barriers or dikes to prevent the seawater from rushing into the land. Dikes have many wooden gates to control the flow of water. These gates are known as sluices. Let us read the story of a little boy who lived in Holland more than 100 years ago.
His home was in Haarlem. His name was Hans Brinker. Hans lived with his family in Haarlem, one of the cities of Holland.
His father, Mr. Brinker, worked at the dike and his job was to open the gates each day to adjust the quantity of water required and close the gates each night so that water would not overflow and flood the surrounding land. One day, when Hans was about 8 years old, his mother sent him to his uncle's house on some errand. It was a long walk to his uncle's house, but Hans did not mind.
He loved looking at the tulip fields on the way and listening to the songs of the birds on the tree. After completing his work, Hans set off for home. Hans was walking merely along the canal, humming a merry tune,
when suddenly he noticed a small hole in the dike through which water was trickling out.
It could mean just one thing. There was a leak in the dike. Hans realized that this could be dangerous, for if the water continued to leak through the little gap, it would soon become a large hole and the entire city would be flooded and many people would lose their lives.
What was Hans to do? Somehow he had to stop the flow of water, and the only way he could do so was by closing the opening in the dike. So he thrust his finger into the hole and immediately the flow of water stopped. Hans sat for a long time with his finger blocking the hole in the dike. By and by the sun set and it began to get dark. Hans felt frightened and lonely and wanted to go home. After a while, Hans began to scream for help. But no one heard his cries because there was no one on the road. Mother will soon come looking for me and I will be safe,
he said to himself, but then remembered that his mother had told him to stay on at his uncle's house if it got too late.
Oh dear, she will think that I'm spending the night with my uncle. Ground Hans feeling miserable. By and by the weather became so chilly that Hans began to tremble.
The cold made his teeth chatter and he felt his hands go numb. But he dared not take his finger out of the hole, for if he did so, the water would come gushing out and flood the city. Tired, hungry and cold, Hans spent the whole night in guarding the dike, and at last, when it was morning, a policeman passed that way. He stopped in his tracks when his eyes fell on the little boy sitting in the cold, almost frozen to death.
What are you doing here? He asked in amazement. I'm trying to stop the water of the sea from flooding the city, he replied in a voice so low that the policeman could hardly hear him. He quickly fetched help and Hans was taken home to his parents.
Soon all the people of Harlem came to know about Hans' act of bravery and called him a hero for saving the city from drowning.
My dictionary. Barrier, a wall of fence to stop something. Prevent, to stop. Adjust, to control. Overflow, to spill over. Surrounding, nearby. Errand, a task or job. Notice, saw. Trickling, falling drop by drop. Opening, a gap. Tremble, to shiver. Numb, frozen. Fetched, brought.